I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with some uplifting stories across the country. First up, a family in Missouri is touching the lives of hundreds of thousands of folks across the country. They've gone viral, sharing the resilient story of their son who was living with a traumatic brain injury. Mercedes McKay explains how the account has turned into a place to not only raise awareness, but also spread hope.
It's a laugh that has captured the heart of thousands. The smile on Josh Luter's face is one of resiliency, because 6 years ago, this was Josh.
I wanted to be like David.
But on April 11, 2021, his life changed forever. Josh was at SIU Carbondale with dreams of being a pilot when he got into a motorcycle accident.
He had multiple broken bones, lacerations, ruptured organs. He had a punctured lung, but worst of all, he had a very severe traumatic brain injury.
An injury that left Josh without the ability to walk and talk, and his parents, Aaron and Brenda, with more questions than answers. After 10 months in the hospital, it was time to bring the new Josh home.
It's not anything I would wish on anybody. It's a really hard situation to deal with, to lose one child and get a different one.
Resiliency running in the family as the Luters transform their home to give Josh the best life they can.
There's so many times we're like, we can't do this. How are we doing this? How can we get through this? And you really just have to take one step at a time, not worry about tomorrow. Just keep your faith.
It's that faith that can now be seen by thousands across the country.
We don't know if Josh knows what happened to him or not.
The Luters posting on TikTok showing what life is like for Josh. His parents say the idea behind their account, Josh 2.0, began out of desperation.
People wanted to know what was happening with Josh. Traumatic brain injuries really aren't that uncommon, so to speak of, but they're really not talked about.
Through the power of social media, the Luters help others caring for loved ones with traumatic brain injuries or TBI.
We get those desperate calls, and we try to help those people along their journeys.
The resilient, now 23-year-old, bringing joy and inspiration to every person that clicks on his page.
There's some people that have said that their lives were so bad they were ready to end it, and Josh has made them stay alive.
I think that's kind of part of the hope of presenting this, is that everybody can see that you're really not alone in your troubles.
That was Mercedes McKay reporting. Now, the family told her since the motorcycle crash, Josh has made tremendous strides, and as long as he is progressing, they can't ask for anything more. Let's head over to Arkansas now, where a nurse is living out his calling. He went from patient to provider. Jacob Luthi shares how he's using his medical struggles to fuel his passion to care for others.
I picture myself as the patient because I was the patient before.
At just 3 days old, Kyle Kendrick was forced to have open heart surgery due to complications stemming from golden Haar syndrome, a rare condition that affects the development of the face and internal organs.
At 6 months old, I had plastic surgery to help remove skin tags and repair a cleft lip that I had as well. As a kid, I was just sick constantly. I had asthma. I have a hearing loss in my left ear.
Growing up, Kendrick spent countless hours in hospital rooms, but it was the kindness and care from nurses during those tough times that inspired him to become one himself.
We went to Army hospitals. I had this one nurse in particular that was she was a civilian nurse. She came up with the most clever ways to distract me from getting shots or, drinking medicine that I didn't want to, drink, or doing different tests for my asthma.
Now 26 and a father, Kendrick works as a med-surg ICU nurse at Mercy Hospital in Rogers.
I feel like I have that understanding of kind of what they're going through, and so for me, I want to try to make it the best experience that I can. So that's why I, wake up every day, put my scrubs on, and come to work.
Kendrick graduated in August from Harding University's Accelerated Nursing Program, and he already has his sights set on his future career plans.
Because of all my military background and experiences, I wanted to fly Blackhawks. Unfortunately, with all my medical conditions, not able to do that, so I figured I could combine two of my favorite things of helping people and flying at the same time.
Despite facing his own medical challenges, he's never let that stand in the way of caring for others.
I think if I wasn't confident in myself, I don't think I would be able to be in this position right now. It's who you are on the inside. It's how you present yourself. It's the work that you put in is the reward that you get.
That was Jacob Luthi reporting. And let's head over to San Diego now, where a nonprofit is creating a pathway for young folks who want to pursue careers in the music industry. Jeff Zevely shares how it is turning dreams into chart-topping realities.
Swept away by music and time, 27-year-old Adrian Quintero can hardly believe it's been a decade since this studio changed his life.
I was struggling a lot in grades. I had a couple D's and F's.
Adrian was 17 at the time when David's Harp Foundation told him they'd trade him good grades for studio time.
I didn't know that my grades mattered that much until that opportunity was put in front of me.
David's Harp Foundation teaches underserved children and young adults how to make a living in the music industry, video production, and graphic design. This all started in a garage?
It did. Yeah.
Brandon Stepp, the founder of David's Harp, created this space for young adults facing challenges, or as he calls it, walking through the mud.
The young people are coming out of the justice system, they're coming out of foster care, they're coming out of being unhoused, and so to be here and to link arms with a trusted adult mentor, to be around the art that you love, and then to journey together. We call that walking through the mud together.
You just needed a shot.
Yes. Dang, that's crazy.
Adrian now works for David's Harp Foundation.
You wanna play piano over this?
He's also a professional music producer. Some of the music you've produced is on the Billboard charts?
Yes, top 10 Billboard charts, yeah. Yeah, there it is, yeah, thank you, thank you.
In the Zevely Zone, Jeff Zevely.
Okay, now let's talk about a dance that you might remember from your childhood. We are talking about the Hokey Pokey. It has a pretty interesting story rooted in the state of Idaho. Here's what's going on. The song is now helping students pay for college through a scholarship fund. Brian Holmes tells us what it's all about.
The Hokey Pokey. It seems so simple.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
However, how it got here isn't so simple.
It's complex, and some would say there's conspiracies behind the origin. There are a number of people who claim credit for the lyrics behind it, the moves, the rhythm.
But its origin story, at least legally, can be linked to Idaho.
This trio in Sun Valley, they were entertaining the ski crowd in the late 1940s, early 1950s.
The Ram Trio, consisting of Larry LaPrise, Charles McCack, and Taft Baker, was the house band of the Ram restaurant at the Sun Valley Resort, beginning in 1939. The story goes, according to LaPrise, the band needed something catchy to get people to loosen up and out of their seats. So LaPrise wrote one and claimed the idea came from a French song his dad used to sing. Then, in 1949, the trio, now labeled as the Sun Valley Trio, put the Hokey Pokey on vinyl. The record ended up being a poor seller, but that wasn't the trio's only problem. You see, 3 years earlier, Robert Deegan and Joe Breyer recorded a similar song to entertain vacationers in the Poconos. So they sued LaPrise and settled, with LaPrise winning the rights to anything having to do with the Hokey Pokey. Jump ahead to 1953, when Ray Anthony and his orchestra put out their seminal Bunny Hop. On the B-side,
right arm,
a version of the Hokey Pokey you might recognize.
right arm out,
Years later, LaPrise would end up selling his rights to the song to Roy Acuff Music. And that's where the Hokey Pokey would put its whole self in on Idaho.
Shake it all about.
When Steve Burns joined the Idaho Community Foundation a few years ago, he found something on their list of more than 700 funds.
Well, you know, most people who set up a fund, it'll be, you know, the Smith Family Fund, the Jones Family Fund. And so to see a fund that was named the Hokey Pokey Scholarship Fund, I had to do a little bit of digging and research and say, what is this thing?
This thing goes back to 2001, when Larry LaPrise's family set up a scholarship, paid for by royalties from the Hokey Pokey.
This past year, I think it was about $3,000 worth of royalty checks.
But some years have been better than others.
A number of years ago, Sesame Street came out with an Elmo version of the Hokey, like Elmo would sing the Hokey Pokey.
Which meant those royalties shot up significantly.
How significantly? You know, there's significantly more than $500,000 in the fund.
So, that Velveeta version? Or Breland rendition? Or whatever this is from Psycho Stick, all of it puts money in the fund, which helped the Hokey Pokey kick in $23,500 in tuition last year for second-year music students at the College of Southern Idaho.
You know, you could argue that Larry LaPrize's legacy was that he wrote this song that we're all familiar with. I like to think of his legacy as he's going to continue to help, you know, generations of musicians.
It's such a simple song.
Yeah.
But as you said, a lasting impact.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Couldn't resist.
That was Brian Holmes reporting. I didn't know about any of that. All right, don't go too far. We'll be back with more Featured. Here's a look at what's ahead. What does it take to catch a gator? Something I don't want to do. We'll introduce you to the blue-collar brawler as he shares what he takes off to get the job done. Plus, a sugar rush that keeps going and going. How Minnesota's largest candy store is finding success on its own terms. And a bit later, twins in sync. Not only do they look alike, they dress alike too, but it is what they're saying that has social media buzzing. We're talking about it in Trending. We are visiting Minnesota's largest candy store, the family-owned business. It's about a football field long, and it offers some obscure and hard-to-find brands. A big factor is it has no phone or social media. You know, that's a big no-no these days, but that has not stopped customers from finding the sweet spot. It has expanded 5 times due to the demand. Boyd Hubert takes us there to find out the secret to their success.
Retailers call on ad agencies with the goal of increasing their traffic.
Yes.
Robert Wagner.
Yes. Yes.
Drives to the hardware store for more paint.
Oof. There's got to be a mile of it.
His marketing plan summed up in a word: marigold.
You never have enough yellow fence. I'll give you that. It is different.
Different is the cornerstone.
We're very excited about it.
Of Minnesota's largest candy store.
We saw it and we had to come. My goodness. Oh, look it.
Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. That's Robert's father, 88-year-old Herbert, nicknamed Hippie.
Yeah, licorice, 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 Holland, Holland, Holland.
Have you guys been here before?
And these are Robert's cousins.
Madison Hartman. Madison Hartman.
Yep, same name.
She's Maddie 1 and that's Maddie 2.
Which is bound to happen when every member of your family,
all right,
wife to mother,
pretty much,
seems to be working here.
I am 3rd generation.
Because different, 2,
3, 4
is working here.
5.
I think 5 times we've gone that way in there.
The building is a little over a football field long.
It just keeps growing.
It kind of got convoluted.
Robert keeps expanding to make room for candies.
green, yellow, orange, pink.
Other stores have given up on.
I found it here. That's 40, 50 years ago.
I do not like to read any business stuff.
If Robert did read business books, he might get some tips for his candy store website.
There isn't one. Yeah, we don't have a website or a phone number.
What?
If we had a phone number out there, you'd be answering the phone all the time.
Huh?
My dad says that every day. This internet thing, it's going out.
Really?
Facebook. No, never been there.
If we start reading the Walmart book, we're going to be like Walmart.
Or Apple.
My dad started growing apples before I was born.
Robert and his family did not plan to add candy to their apple business.
The big hailstorms for us were 2005, 2006.
But with those hailstorms, 2 years worth of work was wiped out.
It was such a blessing.
A blessing?
You're exactly right.
How are you guys today?
Call it lemonade from battered apples, as one table of candy put up to offset hail losses has grown to the region's largest candy store, bigger than the orchard ever was, and done their way.
No credit cards. No scanner.
All that computerized beep, beep.
Clink, clink, Pleat, pleat.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Can't risk drowning out the polkas.
Hippie's favorite music. It's 7 songs and they're on replay all day long.
You're right.
I wish they would turn down this polka music. I'm trying to hibernate.
Put that in your How to Succeed in Business book.
More time for shopping.
But make sure to add warm service. Hippie's fresh hot pies.
Isn't that nice? How do you like that?
1, 2.
Windows washed twice a day. And this.
A quote from P.T. Barnum: "The noblest art is making people happy."
Oh, I like these. I like chiclets.
That sums up a lot.
Oh, this is what Queen got.
If the man who avoids business books ever writes his own, he may just title it, "The Best Offense is a Good Marigold Yellow Fence."
That was Boyd Hubert reporting. I love that because it reminds me of some of the mom and pop shops I would come across in some rural areas of the South, and they would sell penny candy. Some pieces were a nickel and other pieces were a dime, which makes you feel like you can get a whole lot for a little bit when you're a kid. Now, even though this store is offline, people are still sharing their reviews on the web. Many customers give it 5 stars, but they said it was a lot of ground to cover. So if you haven't gone, but you plan to, make sure you wear your comfy shoes. A growing movement in North Carolina is combining caffeine and compassion. The Charlotte Coffee Club hits 2 birds with 1 stone. The group builds social connections while also serving the community.
We have about 100 people build sandwiches. Again, we send those sandwiches to Roof Above just to help out with their food need. And then we also build snack bags. And then with those snack bags, we hand it out to our volunteers and ask them to pass it out at any stoplight or stop sign where they do see someone who's unhoused. So they do have a little bit of like food and some treats for their the rest of their day.
Coffee Club started with a group of 12 members, and it has grown to nearly 300 people. Wow. Alrighty, time now for a short break, but don't go too far. Here's what we have coming up for you next. A breakdown of a viral debate. This one's interesting, we'll say. Who will claim a victory? 100 men or 1 gorilla? Yeah, we're breaking it down for you. Plus, a commitment to service for nearly 2 centuries. We celebrate the legacy of a historical church in Arkansas. Alrighty, let's check out what's trending today on social media. A hypothetical matchup. It's been all over my timeline lately. It's probably been on yours too. Now, there is a debate going on the internet asking who would win in a fight. Here are your options: 100 men or 1 gorilla. I want to know who came up with this. What was the reason? All right, for clarification, the average adult male gorilla is up to 10 times stronger than a human. The animal is capable of lifting up to 1,800 pounds and breaking bone with their bare hands. Other factors included speed, aggression, and durability, which gorillas win in all categories. I don't know about this. Why don't you weigh in and let me know? This is so odd to see. Alrighty, now, it was a sea of silver on a Texas highway after a massive coin spill. Take a look.
That's a lot of dimes.
Wow, I guess so. All right, an overturned truck caused quite a mess on the interstate in Alvord. And while no one got hurt, about 8 million dimes were scattered on the road. Crews worked for about 14 hours. No, they had to be out there to pick them up by hand. Okay, so they also used some other items, everything from vacuums to rakes. I hope that helped. Some onlookers even joked that they wish they brought out some buckets to collect some dimes for themselves. Oh boy. All right, now here's something else that's been getting a lot of traction online. Identical twins were eyewitnesses to a carjacking in Australia, and now the sisters are going viral, not for what they saw, but how they talk. Check this out.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun."
Ron, he's got a gun. I love it. Bridget and Paula Powers shocked folks all around the world by speaking in mostly perfect unison during the interview. Some folks online are calling it twin telepathy, while others think it's rehearsed. I don't think they practiced that. However, the twins say they have tried to not speak in unison, but they say it's impossible. Hey, I believe them. All right, here's a look at what's ahead. You know, sometimes opposites attract. That's what folks say anyway. We'll tell you how a couple went from rivals to romance and a mom to all. We'll show you how one woman is making it her business to take care of her community. With us here on Featured, I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories from across the countries. Two girls are connected forever through a shared heartbeat in Ohio. Oh my gosh, I love this story. A second grader has a rare and special bond with the family whose selfless decision gave her a second chance at life. Lindsay Buckingham has their extraordinary story.
It was a normal January day in 2022 when 4-year-old Maria Moody started feeling sick.
She was ill the night before, couldn't keep anything down, not even water.
Her mother, Bianca Robinson, thought it was just a stomach bug, but Maria's condition worsened. By March, she needed a heart machine to keep her alive.
It's an overwhelming and a very jarring process.
While waiting for a transplant, doctors at Cleveland Clinic Children's warned they could be waiting for months. Maria needed a miracle. Then in April, it came.
I had missed phone calls from the hospital. I had missed phone calls from my mom. She's like, they found a heart. They found a heart.
The heart belonged to 8-year-old Maddie Shine from Logan, Ohio, who died in an ATV accident. Yet in the midst of unimaginable grief, her family made a decision that saved Maria's life.
How can you be elated? How can you feel relief when you know that this other family actually is now having to live out your worst nightmare?
It's too hard for Maria to relive.
I know.
While Maria took a break, her mom spoke to the selfless choice.
Thank you is not enough. I've seen the video of Lisa having to walk her daughter down that hallway at that hospital for the last time. There is nothing that I could say to tell her how much she changed our lives. She was thinking of others in a time where she was losing something so precious to her.
A year after the transplant, the two families connected.
And then I got this letter from Lisa Shine, who was Maddie's mother.
Last summer, they met face to face at a local park. What happened next was a moment where everything was still, except for Maddie's beating heart.
It was just joy. Just joy. I hope that for Maddie's mom, it not necessarily gave her closure, because you can never really get closure from something like that, but I hope that it really filled her up with as much joy as it did all of us.
Today, Maria is a thriving second grader who shares far more than a heart with her angel Maddie.
I could not believe the similarities between Maddie and Maria. The movies that they liked, just like hearing about Maddie's personality. It's like, this is Maria. Like, this is the same kid almost. They just never met.
Two families forever connected by one precious heartbeat.
Thank you, God.
Lindsay Buckingham.
Oh my goodness, Maddie's mom says she will continue to carry on Maddie's legacy for as long as she can. What a great story. Now, a mother in Maryland is feeding her community. It all started with a divine voice she heard more than 10 years ago. Sean Martinelli introduces us to the woman neighbors call Mama D.
If you ever find yourself down in Hagerstown,
all the home runs go on a dessert table.
what's happening here will lift you up. That's Deirdre Norris.
Hi, Alyssa. I'm Deirdre, Mama D. So they call me Mama D.
Mama D.
I think she's exactly what we need here.
Hi, health department.
She's tough, but like mom.
Only take the adult diapers if you need it. Don't take it to sell it.
She cares more than anybody that I know.
Whatever we have left, we pass out tomorrow.
Thank you.
5 days a week.
It's 11:30.
Mama D feeds the hungry of Hagerstown.
Shepherd's pie, baked beans, that does have pork in it.
She feeds their stomach.
Thank you for the food that our friends are about to receive.
And their spirit.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Would you like cheesy potatoes? Okay.
Could you have imagined when you started this 13 years ago that it would be where it is today?
No. Andy, that looks good. It looked like my grandmama's.
It all started when Deirdre met a homeless man on the street.
And I went and got him something to eat. And on the way to Sheets to get like a bunch of MTOs, I heard God say, get 6 more.
Soon after that day, Deirdre earned a distinction.
He said, you are our mother out here. We have no one to really help take care of us like you do.
Chocolate or a lollipop?
And she's been taking care of her community ever since.
Oh my God, it's a heart. This fills my heart for love.
In 2013, Mama D turned her efforts into the nonprofit. It's a blessing to be a blessing.
It makes my heart happy.
Her heart and all of theirs.
Kathy, you checked Mr. Joe hair out today?
Big God bless you, baby.
Bless you too, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Even when I can't smile, I need to smile for other people.
People like Leanne Santiago.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that just need a little bit of hugs and love to get you through to the next step. A lot of the community I know because I was there.
Years ago, Leanne lived on the streets.
It's a blessing. Fed me and kept me, and because of that, I now have a full-time job.
If you think all of this is just about food,
yes, I'll play.
Leanne is proof.
So,
it's about so much more.
When you hear those stories of people who you've helped, who've gone on to get their lives back on track, what does that mean to you?
It means that my purpose is done.
Done.
You're welcome. Thank you for using your manners.
Mama's way.
Praise God.
Oh my goodness, I know those folks are so grateful that they've come across Mama D and she helps them feel at home. That was Sean Martinelli reporting. One of Arkansas's most treasured landmarks is celebrating a milestone that's not just about history, but heritage, community, and courage. First Missionary Baptist Church in Little Rock turned 180 years old, with roots from before the end of slavery and a spot on the National Historic Registry. Journey Taylor takes us inside one of the oldest Black congregations around.
At the corner of South Gaines and 7th Street in Little Rock stands more than a church, but a legacy. First Missionary Baptist Church is marking 180 years of faith, resilience, and service. And to those who walk its halls, it's more than a building. For lifetime member and trustee Renee Hubbard, it's a home filled with memories and a powerful call to remember the past as we build for the future.
I got a lot of memories. And when you have a lot of memories, especially of folks whose shoulders you now stand on who are no longer here, then you feel all of this, and sometimes sadness because they're no longer with us. But look at what they left us.
The church's story began in 1845 when an enslaved man named Wilson Brown asked his enslaver for permission to start a church. Member of the Deaconess Board and former state senator Linda Chesterfield says, in the throes of slavery, it was unheard of.
And then for an enslaver to say yes, it's just very special.
The sanctuary, later built in 1882 by formerly enslaved craftsmen, still stands, but its stained glass, woodwork, and roof need preservation.
It ought to matter to every person in this community, in this state, in this nation, that we preserve this place.
Preservation isn't just about structure, it's about protecting the scarce moments. In 1963, weeks after being jailed in Birmingham, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to preach at First Missionary's 118th anniversary. King was actually a college alum, friends and civil rights activists with the pastor of the church.
Dr. King came to First Missionary Baptist Church because of his connection with our pastor, Dr. Roland Smith. The sanctuary was full, inside and outside. People were along the windows because we had the windows up so they could just hear any morsel of what was going on. They wanted to hear that. They wanted to know what was going on in here.
King's presence was so powerful, Hubbard says, that the room swelled as he came in. She called the moment magical. She was only 13 years old on that day.
He had on the blackest suit I've ever seen. He had on the whitest shirt I've ever seen. And he had the skinniest tie that I've ever seen. I mean, it was just a little bit bigger than a string.
King's sermon, according to Renee, was titled It's Midnight. challenged the community to keep the light of faith burning during dark times. And today, King's legacy, and that of so many others, lives on in the church's continued work in the community.
We've been feeding kids at Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School. We've had a pre-K program here. We have fed the homeless here. We've had vaccine drives here. This is still a living, breathing church, which still has a commitment to community.
And with only 14 pastors over 180 years, the thread of tradition here is strong. The message now is simple: preserve it.
The beauty that comes when we remember how great those people who stepped out of slavery were, that they could create an edifice that's still alive today. That's something that should be celebrated by everybody.
Now, Dr. Martin Luther King's presence is so impactful, the church's trustee could recount the smallest detail right down to that little tiny tie she mentioned that Dr. King wore more than 50 years ago. Great story by Journey Taylor. Now, heading over to North Carolina, where a school found a solution to help ease the stress of the school day. Look at that. That's Coach, the therapy dog. He's now a regular on campus, and as Michelle Bowden shows us, he is bringing much more than just the cute factor to the classroom.
There's no question. Coach is the big dog on campus.
Are you guys ready?
Clearly the most popular faculty member at Providence Day School.
He loves it.
Because he's adorable and I like to play with him. Everybody likes him because he's like really soft. And like everybody likes to pet him.
It just brings so much joy to all the kids.
Ready? Go.
We're a very rigorous school, and he just brings a little comfort to all of us.
The Golden Retriever is a certified therapy dog who comes to school every day with his handler.
Good job.
Math teacher Ashley Liberto.
A lot of times kids in my math class, when they're working on their work, they'll sit at the front of the room and they'll just kind of pet Coach as they're doing math to kind of help them ease the stress that comes along with that.
Coach is especially popular during exam week.
Good boy! We are stationed in the library during exams, so as the kids study, they can come in and kind of just love him and get the stress off their mind.
And about a week before exams, everyone's like so stressed. As we're just cranking out, no warning, it was like, who wants to see Coach? And we all raised our hands, and for like 15 minutes, we just like pet him and snuggle with him, and just completely revived us.
It's just fun.
The idea to bring Coach on campus actually started with another Golden, Liberto's other dog, Bentley.
He unfortunately had cancer, and so he had to get his front leg amputated, and I partnered with our 3D printing class to come up with a prosthetic for him. Good job! And I saw the impact that Bentley made on our community.
When Bentley passed away, Liberto had the idea to make her next dog a certified therapy dog, completed the training, and the two have been making the rounds at school since the start of the school year.
He's so proud of you. Life is hard, and dogs teach you more than just love and compassion. They teach you empathy and, you know, how to interact with each other and just being a loving person. And so when kids see that and see how kind he is, and he doesn't matter, he doesn't judge and any of that. So he's here to kind of show that to our students, that life is hard, but ultimately love can conquer, and he's here to show that.
Now, Coach is so popular, the school will soon give out some stickers, trading cards, and even a little stuffed animal that looks just like him, so the kids can bring a piece of Coach home with them. I love that. I wish we had Coach here at the station. All right, now I want you to come check out this video. Here's something I never hoped to end up doing. This is a Florida man, very on brand for Florida, wrangling a 10-foot alligator. This video has gone viral, and this isn't his first rodeo with the gator. He has captured many over the years. Christina Burgess spoke with him to find out just how he does it.
Meet Mike Dragage, or as many know him, the blue-collar brawler. As a nuisance alligator trapper for the Florida Wildlife Commission, Dragage got the call that a 10-foot alligator was in the median of I-95 and I-295.
He was a fat alligator. He was a male, and he was out looking for a female.
With no shoes on and no hesitation, Dragage got the job done.
I'm always barefoot. I live life barefoot. It is better to catch alligators barefoot than it is with something on your feet.
For the past 3 years, Dragage has been going toe-to-toe with gators, like here on April 23rd, 2024, when he used his bare hands to wrangle this 8-foot gator in the road, and in May of 2023, when he captured a 10-foot gator at an elementary school.
These type of calls are like the gator signal in the sky, just calling me to respond and come save the city.
However, Dragage has felt called to more than just gator calls. As a Marine veteran and a man of faith, he shares his outdoor expertise with local veterans and first responders to help them combat veteran suicide.
And we truly believe that forging community, igniting purpose, and defying darkness is the trick, man, to defeating veteran and first responder suicide.
Whether gator wrangling or sharing the love of outdoors to help his fellow veterans, the blue-collar brawler is protecting many in our community.
And that is what this whole thing is about. You know, getting these opportunities. It doesn't make any difference in the world if it doesn't help somebody else.
Right, he wrestles gators to, help keep his community safe and help out veterans. Better him than me. That was Christina Burgess reporting. We have more for you straight ahead, a nursery rhyme remix. Have you heard of Gracie's Corner? Well, we hear from a family who is racking up views on YouTube while empowering kids with some catchy tunes. Welcome back. A popular YouTube series is attracting young viewers with its catchy beats that make kids want to learn and dance. Take a listen. Okay, now if that's not motivation to count, I don't know what is. Gracie's Corner has more than 5 million subscribers on YouTube, and I was introduced to it. I love these little catchy tunes too. Julissa Garza spoke with the family behind the cartoon to find out why they started the channel.
Meet 11-year-old Grayson Hollingsworth.
She goes to school and she plays basketball. She has a lot of things she loves to do.
Another thing she loves to do is sing, and millions of people listen.
Good morning. Good morning. Today's gonna be a great day.
On her YouTube channel, Gracie's Corner.
It's a show that makes it educational to where kids can learn and also feel inspired and also feel representation.
The channel has more than 3 million subscribers. It all started when the world was stuck at home in 2020.
We have 3 kids, Grayson and her sister and brother, who at the time were a lot younger. And so we had to find a way to keep them occupied so we could work. And during that time, our children were watching shows on TV, and we noticed that a lot of the things they were watching, educational things they were watching, did not have a lot of characters that look like them.
From there, Gracie's Corner kicked off. Educational videos with music, different characters, touching on different topics like mental health.
We get almost 130 million views per month. I think why it really resonates with families is because people want their children to watch educational content.
Although millions of people are now subscribed, it wasn't always like that.
It started off with us only getting views from family members. Even that, I remember our first few videos, we would get 100 views, and it's like, wow.
And there was even doubt from others.
There were people who were saying, why do you want to sing nursery rhymes? You should do something else. Is this gonna catch on? Is it gonna do well?
The mother-daughter duo says while the channel continues to grow, sometimes there are challenges in putting this all together.
Making sure we tell a lot of stories, particularly stories that show different places where, people of color live. We'll have a video, for instance, that will show the Bahamas or show places in Spain where there are individuals who, have melanin. And an important thing is making sure we get it right, doing research, talking to people.
But Mom Arlene says the found success is a testament to being authentic and not giving up, a message Grayson hopes to relay to others.
Don't let anybody stop you, and just keep your head high and stay humble.
Like a lot of young girls, Grayson says there are women who have inspired her.
I'll put my mom first, then For second, I'd say probably Beyonce.
She's happy to be a leader at a young age and hopeful for what her future holds. And maybe one day her name will be on someone's list of women who inspire them.
I hope that I accomplish many things.
Mom Arlene, proud to be right by her side through it all.
We have a lot of women who are fantastic leaders, and you're definitely one of them.
Oh, how cute was that? That was Julissa Garza reporting. Alrighty, coming up next, a reminder that it's not about how you start, but how you finish. It was not love at first sight for these folks. We'll tell you what eventually brought them together in the end. Texas's own Romeo and Juliet are headed to happily ever after at the retirement home where they met. Sean Giggy shares the love story that started as a college football rivalry.
We finally moved in. Finally got moved in and unpacked.
After popping the question and getting an unequivocal yes, Doug Roberts was eager to share the excitement.
The day that we got engaged, we came back to the dining room for dinner, and then he was telling some people that Lorraine and I are engaged.
Only problem? Your name's not Lorraine.
No.
LaVon Roberts says she wasn't caught off guard. After all, she and Doug were still in the getting to know you phase.
Took a while.
The real surprise is that they ended up together at all.
Yeah.
At 77, Doug was a committed bachelor and had no interest in marriage. However, shortly after moving to Asher Point in Arlington last year, LaVon caught Doug's eye, but not romantically.
She insisted on wearing her burnt orange sweaters at game day.
Come college football season, she supported Texas and he Georgia. The only team to beat Texas twice last year. For a while, these conference rivals kept their distance.
Whoa.
Until one day, they ended up at the same dinner table.
13.
Doug has limited mobility, so every day, LaVon got him coffee.
All right, so this is 2.
And over time, coffee turned to conversation.
She just was one of the nicest, most wonderful people I've ever met.
I could just tell from the way he was talking with me, how sweet he was.
Their courtship was quick. After knowing each other just a few months, Doug and LaVon married in February. But there was no honeymoon.
Aww.
The day after the wedding, Doug wound up in the hospital, and LaVon never wavered, never left, and never imagined this feeling.
I wouldn't trade anything.
It's hard to express, especially at this age, being able to feel that way.
Call it love, call it fate. It's undeniable, whatever name you choose.
So far, so good.
In Arlington, I'm Sean Giggy.
Love that. Love always wins in the end, even against your adversaries. Alrighty, that is it for Featured. I hope you found something that inspired you or simply made you smile today. Until next time, make it a great one.